Our modern political climate, a smoldering battle zone filled to the brim with the conflicting beliefs of the self-proclaimed social justice warriors, fighting for what they perceive as basic rights. And the politically incorrect, a group of nonpartisans that do not concede to society's status quo. Our state of Georgia needs a governor that is the latter, someone that will not hold their tongue when it comes to making their opinions known, a politically incorrect conservative who is set in their ways, someone that has an interest in protecting Georgia's traditional Southern roots and values. This person is the Republican gubernatorial candidate, Brian Kemp. Hello there, my fellow Georgians. My name is Brian Kemp, and I'm the Republican 2018 gubernatorial race candidate. I am a native of the city of Athens, Georgia, and I take great pride in my southern home state so that it may succeed after mine and even my three daughters' generations. I currently serve as the 27th Secretary of State of Georgia, and given my political experience and expertise, I will move Georgia forward. As governor, I have a plan to put hard-working Georgians first. To begin, to spur economic growth and opportunity for all Georgians, I will slash ridiculous regulations, taxes, and mandates that crush local businesses. I'll grow jobs, bring economic development projects to rural Georgia, and make our state #1 for small business. Additionally, I'll cap government spending and lower taxes on Georgia families. I'll stand against big government programs that cost too much and fail to deliver for taxpayers. Furthermore, as the husband of a former pre-K teacher, I support early childhood education, pay raises for teachers, local control, school choice, and will fight to safeguard the Hope Scholarship so it is available to all Georgians. I'll reduce the mandates and paperwork on educators. I will put students ahead of the status quo. Consequently, as governor, I will craft a Georgia-focused healthcare solution that lowers costs on premiums and prescription drugs while increasing access for Georgia families. I will fund mental health services, protect rural hospitals, and tackle the doctor shortage with more residency slots and better incentives for rural physicians. Gubernatorial candidate Brian Kemp identifies as a conservative Republican. But what exactly is a Republican? Republicans believe that it is an individual's own duty to form their place in society, and not the responsibility of the government. For example, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, is a government-funded program that provides food for families that qualify. Democrats such as Brian Kemp's adversary, Stacey Abrams, are much more likely to support programs such as this one that fosters dependence on the government. Republicans are not fond of the public growing dependent on the government and desire to restrict programs similar to SNAP. It is by this same reasoning that Republicans believe that immigrants who enter this country illegally are not provided with the same benefits, for instance voting, that legal citizens are, because it is not the government's duty to protect non-citizens who entered the country via illegal methods. Democrat Stacey Abrams, however, told supporters the blue wave included undocumented people. In other words, Abrams believes that non-documented, illegal, and even sometimes dangerous immigrants should pick Georgia's next governor. Abrams' reasoning is obviously faulty, which means that legal Georgians should vote for Brian Kemp so that Georgia will move forward. How much do you know about our government and its history? Hannah versus Max.
I think it's paused.
Yeah, I'd say they've changed. True.
What about the Emancipation Proclamation?
That's from the Constitution. I think they should be balanced. The three branches should be balanced.
Taking into account the survey, we have realized that not one person is completely partisan in their own politics. Even if a surveyee identified as a Democrat or Republican, at least one of their past answers had an attribute belonging to the opposing political party, or even the hidden communist attribute. This is very interesting because it is a real-life example of how no one is completely liberal or completely conservative. On this map of the cities of Georgia, the darker the red means that those cities are majority Republican, and the people that inhabit them are likely to vote for Brian Kemp on election day. The darker the blue of a city, the more Democratic its inhabitants are, meaning that they are likely to vote for Stacey Abrams. Given this map, larger urban cities are more likely to vote Democrat than the smaller and more rural cities of Georgia. This may be because of the more cultural and racial homogeneity in these smaller rural cities, as opposed to the diaspora of cultures and races in larger urban cities. The purpose of our argument was to explain why Brian Kemp is the superior choice for governor over Stacey Abrams, as well as why the Republican Party is better than the Democratic Party. The three logical fallacies used include generalizations, appeal to ignorance, and scare tactics. The three rhetorical strategies used includes ethos, logos, and diction. For the commercial, we wanted it to seem as if we were actually coming from a politician, meaning that there had to be political diction and we had to know what we were writing or talking about. We characterized what type of people conservatives are, what their morals were, and why they think the way they do. The logical fallacies were mostly stereotypes of what Republicans believe. For example, the dangerous immigrant. The rhetorical strategies, in our opinion, make the commercial much more realistic, as politicians are biased but know how to properly dictate. Our target audience are voters, since the election is coming up, or people curious about who Brian Kemp is,